Hey guys, it is Countess back with you again. It is Sunday morning, November 6th, 2022. And yesterday was Guy Fawkes Day in the UK. Remember, the 5th of November. They really do make it like a party and make it fun. Bonfires, they throw like an effigy of Guy Fawkes himself into the bonfire and fireworks and just a reason to celebrate. And it's very similar to the 4th of July here in the States. So I miss it so much. As I said before, I did live in the UK for a while, so every now and again I get homesick for it. So anyways, that aside, I know yesterday I had said in my video that I was going to do a tarot read last night, but it didn't happen. It took me like an hour to record, but then it took me 2 hours to edit, and I find the PowerPoint type presentation very taxing. I would rather just make like a video like this where I don't have to really go in and edit much, because man, that is a time sucker, let me tell you. And I don't have time. Ain't nobody got time for that, right? And I had to like make a big meatloaf dinner for the fam last night too. So by the time I was done editing, I was done. So today we're going to get into the cards. And we're going to talk about the relationship between BiLLy and George Harrison. Now, this is, obviously post 1966. I'll try to find a clip of it, but I remember George Harrison, I think it might have been in the BeaTles anthology series. I remember him saying that something in 1966 changed him, something that he didn't want to talk about, and basically sounded like, off topic, get on with another topic. I think we all feel like we know what changed Mr. Harrison. And yeah, I just kind of want to discover that. We may get answers, we may not, but that does not deter us from trying and doing a fun tarot read, right? I just want to give a shout out to Victoria Lee. She has given insight into my tarot readings. I believe she may be another tarot card reader as well, which is fantastic because, like I say, I may not be the greatest card interpreter. I may not be catching all of the stuff in the spread when I do it. So to have another set of eyes who understands how to do it is awesome. So shout outs to Victoria. And then also shout outs to Justin, always first on the comments. And shout out to Copycat, because she has just given me so many kind and supportive encouragement over the last week. And, she said that I would easily be at 100 subscribers. I don't know exactly when she said, but while I'm recording this, I am one person away from reaching 100 subscribers, and I am blown away. I know I keep saying this, and I don't mean to beat a dead horse here, but I just want to express my gratitude. I am humbled and I am grateful for all of you for subscribing and taking time out of your day to listen to me rant on and whatever I do. But I also would like to say, I encourage comments from people. I encourage interaction. We are a community here, and community is key. We need to contribute and support each other best way we can. And yeah, so, and I really do, like I said, I encourage interactions, so please leave a comment. Remember to hit the like button, because it does allow my information to get out to more people. And yeah, so housekeeping aside, actually there's one more housekeeping issue I have, not issue, but topic I want to bring up. During the week, I decided I want to start, doing a card a day. I do a daily draw and ask what we all need to learn about. And so whatever card comes out, I give a brief description of that card in my community page. So, and I am going to throw up some polls here and there and just see, kind of gauge where you guys all are as far as what kind of content you want to hear or topics you want to discover. So that is all I have. Like I said, I will try to find some media clips about George Harrison. And yeah, so we will see what the cards say. And I just would like you to come along on the voyage with me. So let's get into the cards. And thank you so much for taking time to watch this video. So let's get into it. All right, guys. Welcome back to the table. And it's been a week. Been a week since we last did a read. I'm going to use my Pulp Tarot deck because it is my favorite. I don't know if you've noticed in the community tab that I am using these cards as my daily draw cards. So we can get familiar with them. Yeah, so what I'm wanting to know, guys, what I'm really wanting to know today, and what I'm really hoping we can tap into, is the relationship between BiLLy and George Harrison, because I really do feel that when BiLLy came aboard the BeaTLes ship, I think George had a really hard time with it, and I think that is glossed over, because everybody wants to focus on John Lennon and BiLLy, sorry, John Lennon and Paul, and I think Ringo and George both get cheated out, like always, with how they reacted and felt. Everybody seems mainly talks about how John felt, but I don't know, something inside of me, and then too, the cards suggested this read. And I know that can sound a little wacky to some, but it is true. And that's why I asked the cards. I asked the cards to give me a direction, to point me in the right direction. And I just hope that I am going in the right direction most of the time, because half the time I don't think I am. Anyways, self-deprecation. It's the world's worst cologne, right? Oh my gosh. Okay. So let me just shuffle these up just a couple more times I want to make sure that I'm tuned in, so please don't mind me. So I did actually find that piece of media where George is explaining how something changed him in 1966. And yes, through, like, I believe editing, could even be through other people's YouTube editing, who knows. I do believe they made it look like all he was talking about was his spiritual enlightenment in 1966. But I think there's a lot more to that story that opened his eyes, you know, that showed him the truth of the situation. Again, I think that we always get the sugar-coated version of things, and I don't think that any of us are down with sugar-coating. We just want, all I need is the truth. Just give me some truth. Oh, and look there, the fool. Okay, I guess in relation to the truth, we just saw BiLLy, right? And the Page of Cups was the other card. Young George Harrison. See how these work? It's a trip. It's a trip. Okay, so I'm going to do one more. Just to make sure they are nice and shuffled. Again, I like doing my shuffling and all of that on camera so you guys can see which cards I am pulling in the moment. That other one felt weird to do, you know, like when I took a picture of what I had, you know, and yes, I am going to touch upon those topics in that video, the Something Tugging at Me video. So stay tuned for that, right? But let's get into today's reading about George Harrison and BiLLy. So let's go. So we start with the Sun reversed. Yikes. Okay. Next we have the Ten of Wands again. This card comes up. It seems to come up in like almost every single reading. Am I right? El Diablo reversed. Oh, shit balls, man. Excuse my language, guys. Like I said, I did leave a disclaimer. And I will leave one on this. You know, sometimes I use the Knight of Pentacles. Oh, okay. The Knight. The Knight is not a full-grown man, but a man in his 20s to 30s, in that area. So that's interesting. Yeah, like I was saying, so I do use unsavory language every now and again. Yes, I'm aware of that. And I am sorry, but I am only human after all. And sometimes I get wigged out by this stuff. So that's the only thing I can do. The Ace of Swords, McCartney is here with us. Victoria Lee actually reminded me that in that passage that we went over in Memoirs, Masonic Checkmate, it does tell us that Paul was represented as the King of Swords, aka Spades, or the Ace of Swords, aka Spades. Wow. So we got McCartney in the mix. The real one, Mr. Number 9. And we have a lot of major arcana cards, guys. Like, ooh. And I find that it's really interesting that we're beginning with an ace here. And it is the ace that represents Mr. McCartney. Okay. I don't know why I reshuffled when I was drawing, but I lost train of... The High Priestess has joined us again. Temperance reversed. Look at all of these major arcana cards, guys. This is like a super huge shift in the lives of these two so far. Haven't seen Harrison come out yet, but that does not mean we are talking about the relationship. So we don't necessarily have to see the archetype of them. We have the Eight of Cups. That is a card I think that daily card I drew on Friday. We have the Page of Cups. Oh shit, guys. Oh no. Came back. That's George. The King of Swords. McCartney is on the board twice. Wow. And then we end with the Chariot. Wow, guys. This is another spread for the books. Very, very interesting. There's so many major arcana cards. And I find it really funny that the court cards that we are looking at deal with the Knight of Pentacles. And then we have the Ace and the King of Swords, which Memoirs tells us is BiLLy. Thank you, Victoria, for reminding me. And then we have the Page of Cups. Page of Cups, like I said, to me and in my decks, represents George Harrison. Somebody who, you know, delivers messages of emotion and spirit and things of the heart. So, next to the King of Swords, I am just really, like, I'm getting goosebumps right now, guys, because this is a little, yeah. So let me just take a look at it. So what I'm seeing in this, oh my gosh, I'm just like overwhelmed by all of the major arcana cards in this spread, you guys. And whoa, whoa, whoa. Let me just point them out. We have the Sun reversed, the Devil reversed. We have Justice reversed, the High Priestess reversed, Temperance reversed. And then we end on the Chariot. So we go from the Sun inverted to the Chariot, and we will see how we get there. So the Sun reversed usually stands for coldness. You know, you're no longer feeling the warmth of the sun, the love, the just emotional connection that you can have with people. And it also can show that there's somebody who's trying to see, is struggling to see the bright side of life. Oh, and that's so appropriate. Monty Python, The Life of Brian, always look on the bright side of life. And Harrison was connected to those boys. Awesome. That was very appropriate. But then you go next door to the Ten of Wands. And like I said, this card has come up so many times in these readings about the BiLLes and BiLLy, and it just shows the huge burden that was put on them. You know, a burden which was accumulated over the years with many, many, many other facets to make it happen. So, yeah. But we go from burden and coldness, or even a false impression of something, we go to El Diablo, which can signal like turning from darkness to light, so like the opposite of the sun. But it can also still signal all isn't what it seems. You know, El Diablo is never really a good card to get because it does kind of set the mood for secrecy and trickery and all of that. But usually in reverse, it means that one is liberated from something that brought them down. So we'll see how that falls into the whole spectrum. The Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so yes, I said archetypally, you know, we can see or we can allocate these 3 court cards to individuals, definitely, but also, so the Knight of Pentacles, it represents an influential man. And like I said, it's a man who's in his 20s to like 30s, maybe mid-30s, who isn't quite yet a king, but very influential. He is somebody who has worked hard, and he knows that the road ahead is hard. But he can come out victorious. Okay, so I don't really know yet how to put these into context, so let's just move on to the second row. We get the Ace of Swords, like I said, could signal McCartney, like the memoirs say. These 2 cards could show us that McCartney is here, the real McCartney, not BiLLy. So let's look at the meaning of the Ace of Swords. You know, aces always signal new beginnings, new cycles in life. It can be like new ideas or a new project or just something new happening. Then we come to Justice reversed, and we have gotten Justice reversed again, like this card. Okay, and that shows definitely like an imbalance, dishonesty, lies there instead of honesty and straightforwardness. You get lies and hidden secrets. And she pairs very well with the High Priestess in reverse. In reverse, the High Priestess shows like a shutdown of spiritual, you know, you don't feel connected with anything anymore. There's no harmony from that imbalance. It shows secrets. You know, I will show in this version. It's not so Masonic in this version, in these cards, but you know, you can see upright, she is all about the truth and all about being straightforward and being a guide to spiritual enlightenment. That's not being felt right now. And I've got to say, my gut is starting to tell me that these are the feelings that Harrison had towards a certain somebody. Oh, and I forgot about the Page of Cups too, which we'll get to that. So High Priestess reversed is just like, it can even be like information being withheld or omitted from a situation. Oh my God, these 3 cards together, I'm just a little like shocked, and my gut is turning right now. All of them, you know, this Temperance reversed shows a lack of imbalance. It shows indulgence. You know, temperance keeps things even within one's soul and self. But when Temperance is in reverse, it can show a lack of balance, and it can also show indulgence. Indulgence in drugs, usually. Indulgences and things that are not good for the soul. And that pairs with the High Priestess right next door to her, right next door to Temperance. These two cards upright go together perfectly. This is really kind of cool card. Temperance, it says, part man, part woman, all angel, 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on land. So Temperance shows that there is a stable equilibrium of emotions and the material world. Reversed, not so much. Okay, so this is actually what I'm seeing so far, and I will go back to the first row now that I've kind of gotten more of a context with these 3 cards together. So we're starting a new beginning with secrets and darkness and withheld information. Harrison was completely sad when his buddy McCartney died, and he felt like the Beatles were, being a Beatle was a burden, and he was ready to break free of that because he knew he had, or maybe, you know what, this guy might have something to do with this row. He wanted to break free from the Beatles, basically. He wanted to break free from this whole thing when Paul McCartney died, but got talked into staying on, I'm assuming, by this influential man. An influential man set up this new beginning, tied to Masonic connections, maybe, like we saw in the first tarot reading. Let me get out my Rider-Waite-Smith deck just so I can show you guys. Again, for those who have not seen her, I will show you the High Priestess in this. And this is the most classic tarot deck, most people go off of. So let me search for her. Oh, like the sun's reversed. Oh, okay. So come on, where's the High Priestess? I just want to show you guys, like, what she looks like, if you don't know. If you do know what she looks like and what I'm talking about here, please just hold tight. I do have a point. I just have to find her. Oh gosh, it's like, of course, she's probably like the very last card, right? Oh, there she is. Okay, so we have the High Priestess here. Let me put my deck back. Oh wait, no, I pulled the Empress. My bad. Okay. Where is the Priestess? Where is she? Oh, I know she's in here somewhere. There are just too many cards. Too many cards. Queen of Swords, Ace of Cups. Come on, hurry up. Ugh, I'm so sorry, guys, that this is detracting from the read, but I just want to make a point here, and I feel like that point needs to be made by seeing the card. Oh no, guys, like, did I lose my High Priestess? OMG, like, no way. No, there she is. There she is. Yes. Okay. All right, so put those there. So, in the standard Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this is the High Priestess. And, the color scheme of this card is the same. You have the colors, blue, white, a little bit of yellow. These are pomegranates, which show abundance. But she sits in between the pillars of duality, Boaz and Joaz. And these are the Freemasonic pillars of duality. So that's why I say there could be a possible Masonic ties here. Influential person started something, a new idea about what was going to happen, post 1966 after McCartney died. And Harrison was just not, to me, he was so sad. And then he felt like it was a burden to be a Beatle, and I think we've heard about that. And he wanted to break free. Oh, okay, so going with a new idea that's full of deceit and lies and causing indulgence in substances, we go down to the Eight of Cups. Now, see, this was the daily card I drew for Friday. And normally the Eight of Cups upright shows that you're walking away from a bad situation. You're getting away from something that is emotionally vacant and not helpful to you. Reversed, it's more like you're accepting your lot in life and kind of like it signals to kind of like listen to your inner self. But yet that inner self gets convoluted and confusing. And so you kind of just give up and accept the situation that you're in. And that situation, paired with the Page of Cups. Like I said, the Page of Cups, he represented the young George Harrison in my tarot read. And talking about the inner child, Page of Cups, is an individual who has compassion for other people, who is sensitive, who is in touch with their inner child when you really do need to connect with it again. It can also signal, though, depending on the other cards, it can signal an abusive situation, a unhealthy, toxic situation, because it is dealing with someone who is opening up their soul, basically. Out of all the suits, the cups deal with that. And all the cards around it definitely have an effect on the context of the card. And so what I'm seeing initially is that he accepted his situation, but because really he couldn't fight back. It was toxic and he saw it that way, and there was no spiritual fulfillment for him. I don't know. I mean, this is the way that I'm putting it all together, but again, I could be wrong. But then we get to the King of Swords, and this is an older gentleman, probably like late 30s to 50s even, that is a very intellectual, logical, reasoning kind of guy. He has control and command over his thoughts and his actions. But he's also somebody who has very high standards. Could that be BiLLy? I don't know, because with the Chariot, maybe this is, this guy is very strong. signaling with the Chariot. The Chariot is showing, and it's something, you know, someone with willpower, someone with, paired with the Temperance, paired with the influential person. Maybe the influential person was creating the inversion of Temperance, causing him to check his willpower. And it can also signal being ready to move forward on the road ahead. Getting, you know, just getting on with it, basically. So, let's, like always, draw a few more cards for context. More context. I mean, really, this is pretty, again, guys, like, I don't want anybody out there to think that I'm, like, I don't know, making this stuff up to fit a narrative, because this is actually what the cards are telling me happened post 1966 with George Harrison. This is what I'm seeing, and it all came from McCartney's death. And he wasn't having it, man. He was totally spiritually unfulfilled. That's why he went off to India, you know, to get spiritual enlightenment. And he didn't want to be a part of it anymore. You know, he just wouldn't, he was not a phony. He didn't think it was right, but he accepted his lot in life. Oh shit, guys, we got the we got the Page of Pentacles. Young McCartney and young Harrison out to play again. Okay, we got the Seven of Cups. Interesting. That's another daily draw card I did last week. Oh, and the Ten of Swords. Ooh. Okay, well, this shows me that, I mean, yes, in my decks, I have paired the Page of Pentacles with McCartney in my decks, just because this card comes up repeatedly. But the Page of Pentacles is like somebody who is, or it's showing that there are good things in store. It's a message of possible prosperity, possible command of something, because you're working your way up. Page, Knight, King, or Queen. So, yeah, that is really fascinating. And then we go to the Seven of Cups in the middle. And so this, you know, shows options. It shows the possibility that could happen. And it can show like a disillusion as well. Like someone is just like living in la la land, you know, but really I think it's about choices. And I think Harrison was ready to break out and be successful with these options that he had. And with the Ten of Swords, again, this does signal that even though he has options, or, you know, he could be disillusioned, because the Ten of Swords shows another kind of bad ending, just like the Ten of Wands. It's like something that starts off great ends, and it's a situation that can last a while. So, post 1966, taking that into context, you know, they were together for what, another 4 years? So yeah, I mean, that is quite a while to live in this world with drugs, secrets, an imbalance in everything. And I can't help but keep coming back to this guy. I feel like, see, we have the page and then the knight, right? I feel, I don't know. I don't know what I feel. I'm going to shuffle more. I want some more cards. I need some more information, please. Help me, information. Get in touch with my Marie. That Chuck Berry song. Oh, love it. Okay. Oh, no. The Nine of Swords. Ooh, we're getting tons of swords today. Oh, and then the Emperor reversed. Oh, no. What in the world? Whoa. So, you know, I find this really interesting. You know, we have the 9, 10, ace, and, well, we have the king. So we skipped the Knight of Swords. But, yeah, like, again, this, having this, like, sadness that is attached to this approaching ending. This approaching ending of a situation that is going to last a while. It just shows somebody who is experiencing like inner stress and turmoil. And the Emperor reversed, that shows somebody, an authority figure, a father figure who is a tyrant, basically, abusive, taking full advantage of his authority over people, causing just inner turmoil. It is, I don't know, it's just wrestling with oneself. And I guess that does go back to connecting with your inner child, which, where did we find that? I mean, these are, I think justice. We were, justice revert. No, where? Trying to see in here where I like. I'm like blacking out right now, guys, about what I'm saying to you. So you're just trying to it's here, you know, like listening to yourself. I'm sorry, guys, like I totally spaced out right there. I really did. My bad. Yeah, sometimes it happens to me. Trying to look and read all of these messages at once, it's a little bit overwhelming. So please disregard that little refrain in my thinking. Okay, so yeah, basically George Harrison was pissed about this whole situation. I can see that he didn't like BiLLy. He felt stuck and trapped. And while all the other guys were like accepting it and fucking around with whatever drugs or whatever, he felt empty. No spiritual enlightenment, no fulfillment, no justice in the whole matter. They just were expected to keep on acting like nothing ever happened and always constantly be in denial about what did happen. And I can only imagine that that is a hard cross to bear. Okay, so we end on the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles, yeah, it does show a lady with a bit of success. If you think about, I don't know if you remember, the Six of Pentacles before is the Charity card. And it is like an equal balance of giving and receiving, along with generosity. So the Seven of Pentacles is that generosity was taken and money was made. So, but it's not the most integral card in the suit. It shows personal wealth, but it also shows a shifty character who may not have collected that wealth in a legal or morally right way. Again, cashing in on this whole situation. I don't know who, perhaps it's the Knight of Pentacles who cashed in on this. Tell me what you guys think. Like, what do you see in here in these cards? You know, ooh, he just did not like BiLLy. He did not like lying. He did not, out of all of them, he resented it the most. I mean, you would think that maybe John Lennon would have been the one who hated it the most and, you know, resisted it. But my cards today, guys, are telling me that it was George who was the one who really struggled with this whole replacement Paul McCartney, in my opinions and allegedly. So yeah, what do you guys think? As always, please leave me your thoughts and opinions because they are very valuable to me. And if you see something completely different, tell me. But I'm just seeing that George basically not hated, because he was a spiritual man and I don't think had hate in him, but he definitely did not like BiLLy. And I think we could see that in the Let It Be film and how things were just miserable at the end. It wasn't the happy-go-lucky film that Peter Jackson made. We saw the reality. It was a very unhappy situation. People are on drugs. They were keeping secrets from each other. It was a burden to be a Beatle. For all of them, I would assume. However, he sees the options and the opportunities that lie ahead for him, that he's capable of making it on his own. And that's exactly what he did. And he was the most successful out of all of them as a solo artist. He got on the top 100 way more than McCartney did. And I think Lennon only got on there once as a solo artist. And that was when he collaborated with Elton John with Whatever Gets You Through the Night. So bigger things were in store for Mr. Harrison. It just lasted a really long time to get out of this. But somebody made money. Somebody made money the immoral way by exploiting this situation. So, wow. Okay, we got validation and confirmation on the exploitation of this whole post-1966 era. And yeah, basically, George Harrison did not care for BiLLy at all, no matter what the facade is. And they had a lot of deep, deep wounds against each other. And it took a long time for those wounds to heal. A lot of years. So anyways, guys, that is it for me. I'm going to edit this and put it out. And I will see you in my next reading. So until then, it's been real and it's been swell. Bye.
were you mostly a Beatle in those days?
Completely, yeah. Every moment of every day was Beatle, Beatle, Beatle.
Sort of group soul.
Just as a group, as, you know, our career, everything. It was just all the attention, the media, it was all Beatles until the Beatles just drove us crazy.
So when did George Harrison sort of break through as an identity on
1966. Well, I mean, he was always in there. George Harrison, whoever the real one is, was always there, really. But 1966 was when I sort of woke up out of my dream.
What made you wake up?
Well, a number of things. The experiences that we were having. And one experience which I don't really like to talk about too much, but somebody put something in my coffee.
Right. So it changed your consciousness?
So it changed me a lot, yeah. Then I went off to India, into the Himalayas.
Philip Norman is the author of Shout, which many consider the definitive Beatles biography.
The Beatles is not a normal story, it's a supernatural story. McCartney won't tell you, Ringo can't tell you, John isn't here.
When you say Paul won't tell you, what do you mean?
He rewrites history all the time.
Was it Paul as the walrus? Do you mean in those costumes? Yeah. No, it's John. It's John as the walrus. Yes. The walrus is John.
Well, I had a black carnation because they'd run out of red ones. And I said, all right, I'll have the black one out of whatever you've got. So I got this hugely significant thing of a black carnation.